I've been doing some thinking lately about like how I used to write, what I used to write about, and what I write about now. I used to write a lot of poems. I actually wrote a poem about. I wrote a poem a while back about what this video is going to be about, but driving right now, so if I don't look at you, then don't feel. Well, never mind. This isn't a man-to-man talk. This is a man through camera to computer to man, woman, and child talk. So never mind. It's I did used to write a lot of poems about actual spirituality and God and things like that, because I used to be, like a lot into Christianity whenever I was a kid, the spiritual side of it, more than the religious side of it, and, I've not really, when it comes to spirituality, I've not written much about Christianity lately because I don't really feel like I stand in a place with Christianity or really any religion in life right now. If I write about spirituality, it's about things that make me feel like I am, sorry for that truck, I am more connected to my, a universal piece of me, like nature, just really things that bring me solace, things that, which I guess in a way was what I wrote about before, but it's kind of like, I don't really write about any sort of religious side of anything anymore. I don't really write about God or anything like that anymore. If I write about religion at all lately, it's been about, like, anti-religion, I mean, I don't hate the good morals that, some religions teach, but there is also the argument that, certain morals should be known as good or felt as good without having to have religion or some sort of law teach us, I mean, I've never killed anybody, but if I did go and kill somebody, I should naturally feel bad about it. And, without having to have religion. So that's partially why I've not been writing about any sort of God or religious standpoint for the past while. And, when I write about spirituality now, like I said, it's more or less about things that bring me solace than it is about God. It's about personal experiences, personal things, love, me seeing others love each other, certain things in music and art that just I connect to as through personal experiences, things like that. Acknowledging my anger and things that are corrupt, even if it doesn't heavily affect me, and just writing poems about stuff like that, writing about, like, about a year ago, a little over a year ago, I think I wrote my first poem that I feel like I could actually call a political poem. I think it was called, it was Vampire Pigs, and I'm actually about to get some food, so hold on. Alright, sorry about that. A little hungry. I'm going over to a friend's house to help him on a project, and then we're going to record some stuff for TPR. I wanted to get some food before I went, but yeah, first poem I actually wrote that was really political, like I said, was Vampire Pigs, and I just remember something about that happened with the government that really just pissed me off, and I really tried not, whenever I was younger, tried not to pay too much attention to politics, because like, it kind of is. I just felt like it was just a bunch of little wide-penny, power-hungry crackers just trying to cause a fuss, like they do with a lot of things. Even though some of the things are important, which are things they try to change, which some things shouldn't change, and some things are things that need change, and people are just so, oh, how will this affect my life because of whatever. And but anyway, I really can't remember what it was, but something really pissed me off. And so it was partially because I was really wanting to, it was something I had read about, something that somehow I guess became stirred up again about taxes, and I was seeing what, I looked at my check one week, and it was, I had worked like an hour or something overtime, and it was going to give me like an extra few bucks. And I looked at it, and it was like, even though I already knew about taxes and what we really got compared to what we really earned, and it just kind of pissed me off that, we get taxed for things that, we're either going to die before we receive, or it's just going to be, or it's just, money going towards people that, even though there are some people, like things like food stamps, there are people who actually, as hard as they work and as much as they probably work, they still somehow need help with stuff like that, and it just, and then there are people who just, they lay around on their ass and just soak it in and claim that they have something that they don't, so they can get it. And it was something like that, plus the influence of a friend of mine and the couple, facts I re-educated myself on, that kind of made me pissed off. So that kind of like, it wasn't about it wasn't about food stamps, but it was about like something the government was spending tax dollars on, and it pissed me off, and the fact that I could have had, the extra whatever in my check that I'd actually worked for and got originally earned before taxes, that kind of pissed me off. So it's kind of like that stirred up really my first political poem, and then I found, I kind of made a part 2 to that called Politicking, and it wasn't exactly about taxes, but it was it was kind of like, it was about some other topic. It was, well, no, I think it was just really a little bit of leftover anger. Shit. Blair. It was a little bit leftover anger from what influenced Vampire Pigs, and it kind of just inspired me to be like, hey, if I have this in me, I'm sure there's more poems about politics that I'll end up writing, and sure enough, there were. There's poems like pieces I've written called America. There was a piece I wrote recently called If I Were President, which I've recorded an actual poem version of it. It was kind of like a spoken word, it was just a little piece. It wasn't really a poem. It was just something about one of those kind of inspirational things, I guess. I don't really know what you would call it. I just know what it's about and why I wrote it. And So I wrote that, and then I made a video for it, and I was just originally going to recite what I wrote on that paper, that one-page piece, and then I ended up doing like a 13-minute video, and it's just like, I was just, at the end of it, after I was done, I was just like, where did that come from? I know I have a lot of stuff that's like held back, but there's like so much stuff I'm against. And I was just like, I didn't know I was there. I know it was kind of 13-minute video, and a little bit of it, there was a little bit of repetition about what I had originally written, and then after that, the little miniature speech I kind of gave, kind of stuff I added on that was kind of like thrown in. Honestly, it was a little improvised, but it wasn't improvised in a way as in I was trying to impress anybody. It was just like stuff that just wanted to follow its way out after I had done the poem, and that was already inside of me, that I was just like, hey, let's just go ahead and get it all out. I was just thinking that halfway through the poem, I was like, alright, let's do it. And that's just a few political poems I've written, but there aren't a whole too many. I try not to get in that sort of like that area. And there's so many other people who have written songs or poems or whatever, books, all sorts of things about politics, and it's just like, I'm just gonna, that's still a little bit of a lingering mentality I have. It's just that I try not to write too much about that, or make too many videos, posts about it, because I know there's so many people who've, throughout history, who have already said stuff about it, and about different points in time in history, and especially a lot now about Obama and Congress and all that, and I just don't want to seem too much like a sheep, you know. There's so many people that are out there that are like, don't be a sheep, wake up to what the politicians are doing, but then it seems like to me almost that the more people that get added in to the whole, whether they are educated or not, whether they just want to post something hating on the government just because they want to hate on the government and not actually educate themselves and be like, hey, this is what I'm posting about, and this is why I'm angry on it, this is how it's affected me, or it's affected someone that I love. And I just, you know, I feel like there's been a lot of sheep that have been kind of asleep to some of the things that are going on, that are being passed while we get distracted. And then there are things that, I don't know, I'm just, this was originally going to be a video about how I used to write about spirituality and why I used to write and what I majorically used to write. And it's kind of turning into a political rant when I didn't want it to be, and I kind of just said that I try to stay away from that. And I don't know, sometimes you just gotta rant a little bit, and this video is not a rant. I mean, it's not really meant to be a rant. You can take it as that if you want. You can take it as a vlog video, whatever. But you can take it as me just talking about why I write what I write and what I think, whatever. I just don't really care. But it's a whatever you want to call it, a vlog, a rant, whatever. But I'm not here to impress anybody. But yeah, I just think that's just something I think, that there's been too many people that have been blind to some of the things that have been going on, like some of the bills that have been passed that, you know, that people aren't up for, some of the fucking bills that have been passed that are unconstitutional just because of control and greed, desires. And there are people that are becoming sheep just to act like they're not sheep about not knowing about what's going on with politics and different things like that. And you know, and they'll say, you know, all the same shit that everyone else is saying just to seem like they're educated and that they figured this out all on themselves. And there are people who actually do educate themselves and figure out about things and that be like, enlighten themselves and be like, oh, this has been going on and this has actually been going on, and it's not just someone making a post about it just because they want to find some way to, be like, fuck you, government, it's stuff that's actually happening. And they're actually educating themselves, but there are people that are actually just, also just sharing, minimalistic stuff that everybody already knows just to seem like, just to get likes or whatever, and that's something I don't like. And I'm sorry to any of you who actually watch this to find out about my poetry, why, I originally started explaining why I write the way I do and how it changed from the way I used to write. But let me just finish this video off with something I originally wanted to say when I first decided to do this video. As I feel like a lot of people actually I didn't really have a fan base with my poetry or anything I do now. Before, and it's still kind of small now. I mean, I think there are people who watch my stuff and enjoy my stuff, but don't really react with it at all. They don't, be like, they don't go to my YouTube and be like, hey, I really was inspired. This really changed my point of view. I really don't get. I hardly get any of that. I might get a listen here or there on Bandcamp or SoundCloud or YouTube on one of my personal poetry videos or a vlog. But I really think there were a lot of people, a majority of the people that did come to my poetry since the beginning liked it because of some of the spirituality and God things that I used to write about, connections I used to write about, and things like that. And I think more of the people, since I don't write about that anymore, I don't know how many of those people who supported me in the beginning actually supported my poetry or whatever I posted about in the beginning, actually still come to my stuff, because I don't really write about much of that the way I do now. And I'm not saying any of my stuff was really good in the beginning, because it really wasn't. At least I don't feel like it was, because I'm my own worst critic. But that's I mean, that's that. And I don't really. And I think because I write more about politics, and then I write about love, more of a physical love. I'm what Christians would say as secular. That's what I am. I got a smoky shirt today, by the way. I got a new one. My old one I donated because it got too small, because I got too fat, and I bought this. But anyway, most of the people that I'm associated with directly with my Earth Limitation project are pretty much my age. They're in their early 20s, late teens or whatever, early 20s to mid 20s, maybe in the 30s, early 30s, I don't really know. I really don't believe in accuracy when it comes to the stats on YouTube or anything like that, so I don't really know. I'm just I just feel like that's the kind of semi-related to the way that people think they feel or want to think, and they think I'm educated, which in a lot of ways I believe I am, but some people believe I'm as educated or whatever to them, and that they might see me based off of my poem titles, my video titles, whatever, someone to discuss things with, even though I've hardly discussed things with anybody, or just want to listen to me and believe that maybe they'll relate to what I'm posting. So I don't know. Just anyway, that's I think I'm basing too much of what I do off of the idea of being secular or non-secular compared to the old and new of what I do about. So it's just really something that, as much as I don't, care for religion, I still kind of have that idea in my head that kind of like bothers me. So anyway, that's my own thing I'm working on, is getting over whether or not Christians like me, because that's something I just really don't care about anymore. Because the way I used to write when I started, it used to be, a certain way, and now it's just like, oh, that was a way for me to find peace, and now it's also, what I'm doing now is also a way for me to kind of find peace, but I don't know, it's just weird, the kind of peace or whatever I'm writing for now, in that way. And I do write for my own personal solace, and if people like what I write, then I'm appreciative of it. I really enjoy that fact. And if they don't, then that's okay. I mean, just don't be a douchebag and go to one of my videos and be a troller and just be like, you make shitty videos, is this really what you want to do with your life? And, when you go to their channel, they're like, all they have on there is a 10-second video of their cat and a video of them and his underage friends getting drunk, because that happened to me with a video I did. It was called From Francis with Love. What I did was I got with my friend Dizzy Delaporte, and it was about a French man. It was a man from Paris called Francis, I don't really know. I don't know the French pronunciations of anything, but anyway, it was about him, how he got pulled back he had been in the military and found a woman named Cassidy, and that he really loved in Ireland because he got stationed there, and he fell in love with her, and after he left the military, he went back to join her and help run a Go farm, and it's kind of about that, and how he got pulled back into the military and never got the chance to go back to her after that because he could just never finance it for some reason. And it's kind of about that, and it was me portraying the character of him, and I did a shitty French accent, and I recited the poem. I was holding a glass of wine, and wore a leopard shirt to kind of be sexy a little bit, and for it, and then we kind of did it was kind of like a little poem skit that I did with Dizzy Delaporte, and this guy comes up and he's like, you make shitty videos, and it was, blah, 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 and, is this what you want to do with your life, when it's the only video he obviously ever watched, and he was like, pretty much doing that, and being a douchebag about it. All it was doing was trolling, and I really can't deal with trollers. There are people who criticize and try to provide constructive criticism, but there are also people who are trollers who just go around posting dumb shit on people's walls to try to piss them off for no good reason, when they have no talent or anything positive or anything good to provide to society. And that's what this guy did, and that really pissed me off. And I just want to let you know that, dude, if somehow I blocked this dude, but dude, if you're watching this video, fuck you, man, because you serve no good purpose to the community or to yourself. I went to your channel and I did that video for fun, man. We did that for fun and kind of an artistic thing. And I went to your channel, man, and you got nothing. I know I probably look just as bad as a troller, but man, when all you got is a video of you and your friends drinking and a couple other videos that really don't give anything to, that's just showing that you're putting the truth about your videos and what you're doing with your channel onto other people and making it seem like that. So, grow some balls, do something productive, because people like me who put up things that could somehow provide positively to society or whatever, or could entertain people in a positive manner, or could help people think about things, and you're just going to go around and troll on them and act like you're better than everything. you serve no good purpose to society or to yourself. So like I said, grow some balls. Well, I think I've done a long enough video. And I really got to all the major points I wanted to get to. Plus, I have to get off because I'm meeting my friend in about 5 minutes to go help him on a project and then record some poetry for Broetry to put on the TPR Bandcamp. And once we get some stuff on there, I will share the link to the TPR Bandcamp on a video, and the TPR Earth Limitation, and my personal Facebook. And I'll probably make a short video just for the people here on YouTube who aren't on the Facebook and keeping up with what we're doing on there, whether it's through Earth Limitation or whatever. And I'll make a short video with a link then when we start getting some stuff on there, whether it's Broetry first or whatever. So until then, keep it true, peace out, and if you're a troller, fuck you.